The points to be covered are industrial location, industry-market linkage, ideal location of an industry, classification of industries. Children, in the upcoming slides, we shall be discussing the important questions and model answers. These answers are marked according to the CBSE board pattern, which will be very beneficial for you for your board exams. Let us now move on to our first slide. Industrial location. Industrial locations are influenced by the availability of raw material, labor, capital, power, market, etc. It is very difficult to find all these factors of location at one place. So, the manufacturing activity is set up at a place where all the industrial factors are available or can be arranged at a low cost. Sometimes industries are located near cities, and after the industries have been set up, urbanization takes place. Cities provide markets and other services like banking, insurance, labor, transport, etc. Now, agglomeration in economies. You must be wondering, what are agglomeration economies? Students, many industries tend to come together to make use of the advantage offered by the urban centers. This is known as agglomeration economies. This is followed by large industrial agglomeration. In the pre-independence period, manufacturing industries were located in places from the point of view of overseas trade, like Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, etc. Industry-market linkage. Now children, let us closely see this figure. We see that the inputs available are raw materials and the component parts. The factors of production are labor, land, capital, entrepreneur, infrastructure, etc. Now, these inputs and factors of production require a transport facility to take them to the factory. In the factory, the raw material is converted into the necessary product or the outputs. These finished products need a transport again so that this output can be taken to the market for selling purpose. These products, once sold in the market, generate money, which is again used to purchase more inputs or raw material. And factors of production. From this figure, it is very clear that the market and the industry are interrelated. When the raw materials are taken to the factory and converted into products, and with the help of transport facilities, these are sold in the market. Then money is generated. This money is again used to purchase more raw material for the industry. Let us now look at the ideal location of an industry. The factors required for the location of a factory are low cost, specialized labor, government policies, etc. Let us now see the table that is visible on your screen. The ideal location of an industry depends upon 4 factors. First is the cost of obtaining the raw material at the site. If the raw material is easily available, it will cost less and which will be good for the industry. But if the raw material is not easily available, the industry will have to spend a lot of money in procuring this raw material from outside, which will be very expensive. Second is the cost of production at the site. This is an important point because if the production cost is high, then it will not be economical to set up an industry in that area. Decision to locate factory at a site. This has to be taken quickly and the factory should be set up, because sometimes if the decision is not taken on time, the raw material available may not be available. The cost of distribution of production. This is very important because the market has to be close by for the distribution of the finished product. Otherwise, the cost of distribution will be very high and not convenient when the factory has to be set up. Let us now see the classification of industries. Students, we all use a variety of products in our daily lives like soaps, electronics, textile material, food products, etc. All these products are manufactured in different industries. Industries can be classified on the following basis. On the basis of source of raw material used. Agro-based. These are industries which get their raw material from the agricultural industry like cotton, woolen, jute, silk, rubber, textile, sugar, tea, coffee, edible oils, etc. Next is the mineral-based industry. These are industries which require minerals as a raw material like the iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine tools, petrochemicals, etc. Second classification is done on the basis of their role. Key industries. These are those industries which provide raw material to manufacture other goods like iron and steel and copper smelting, aluminium smelting. Consumer industries. These are those industries that produce goods directly for the use of consumers like sugar, tea, paper, toothpaste, fans, etc. The third type of classification is on the basis of capital investment. Students, if the total investments on the assets of a unit are up to ₹1 crore, then it is called a small scale industry. If the investments on the assets of a unit are more than ₹1 crore, then they are called large scale industries. Let us now see the fourth classification. This is done on the basis of ownership. Students, industries can also be classified in 4 parts in this basis. Public sector. These are those industries which are owned and operated by the government agencies. Example, BHEL or SAIL. Private sector. These are those industries which are owned and operated by the individuals or a group of individuals. Example, TISCO, Bajaj Auto Limited. Joint sector industries. These are jointly run by the state or the government and individuals or a group of individuals. An example of this type of an industry is the OIL or the Oil India Limited. Cooperative sector. These industries are owned and operated by the producers or suppliers of raw materials, workers or both. They pool in their resources and share the profits or the losses. Example, the sugar industry in Maharashtra, coal industry in Kerala. The next classification is done on the basis of bulk and weight of the raw material and the finished goods. This can be further classified into 2 types, heavy industries and light industries. Now, what are heavy industries? These are industries like the iron and steel, in which the raw material used and the finished goods are very bulky and heavy. Light industries. These industries are those that use light raw material and produce light goods, like the electrical industries. I hope you have understood this lecture. Thank you.